Disclaimer! So in this review, I tried the Trifoliate Orange, and I make Trifoliate Orange Aid, where I take the juice and put water and sugar in it. So I tried the fruit, I was totally fine, had no problems whatsoever. I made the juice. I drank that juice, so probably like a glass or two every day for about a week. No problems whatsoever. But then my girlfriend came over and I gave her some of the juice and it made her very, very sick. So, one, I'm sorry, honey. And two, guys, be careful, okay? So not everybody has the same sort of constitution as other people. Some people may have allergies, some people may have sensitivities to foods. I feel like over so many years, I have eaten a lot of things that are very questionable, and maybe I've built up tolerance to eating whatever the hell is in trifoliate oranges. So because of everything that happened in my experience, I think it's probably a good idea for you to view this video for educational purposes only, okay? I think that some people can eat this thing and they'll be totally fine. I was, but that might not be you. So if you do eat this thing, please be careful. Look at a lot of sources, not just mine. And if you do get sick, don't sue me, guys. I told you not to do it. All right, enjoy the show. This, everybody, is the Trifoliate Orange, which is a very, very odd citrus fruit because it looks like a little orange and it's got a lot in common with a little orange. However, there's some really odd things about it. Before I talk too much about it, I want to give a special shout out to Ashton for sending this to me. Ashton, thank you very much. This is cold hardy, so this actually will survive in cold temperatures. And most oranges, of course, need to be in very warm temperatures. Also, the outside of this thing, you probably can't see it, but it's fuzzy, kind of like a peach, which is very odd for a citrus fruit. It is so different than normal citrus fruits that some believe it shouldn't be in the citrus genus, but it should be in a different genus, all of its own, Poncirus. So it should be Poncirus trifoliate rather than citrus trifoliate. That's a fun thing to say. It also contains a couple of compounds that are unique to this. One of them is Poncirin, and that's a compound that is used in medicine to act as an anti-inflammatory. This is one that people argue its edibility on. Some people think it's poisonous, some people don't. And it has been used historically in China and other parts of the world as a medicine and as something that you can cook in order to eat. A very popular thing to do with these is to make marmalade out of them. I'm not going to do that. I don't have the time, but I am going to do something with it. I'm going to make a juice out of it. But before I make a juice out of it, you know what I have to do? I need to try this raw. They are not super juicy, but you can see a little bit of juice going out there. And you may notice that I can't cut through it all the way. That is because this thing is full of seeds. As if it wasn't enough of a hint to see them flying out of it. This thing is just jam-packed full of seeds. It smells really, really good, but unique. It has a scent in there that I'd say is unique to this fruit that I haven't really noticed in other things. But I say the closest thing I can relate it to is if you were to take like a grapefruit and make it more floral. It's like a grapefruit covered with flower petals. I'm also noticing that it's kind of latexy as I'm cutting it. I'm noticing like my fingers sticking together. That is also a bizarre thing for a citrus. Okay, so I think I got all the seeds out. I know this isn't going to be good. That is very sour. That is like a 10 on the sour scale. The flavor is good though. It's really good. That's surprising. I thought that this is going to be like completely horrible, but that flavor is really tasty. It's something like lime and grapefruit. It has a slight bitterness to it, but not as much as I've been seeing online. People have been saying like this is the most bitter thing ever, but it is intense. I think that would be a tough thing to eat raw. You definitely want to dilute it or cook it. Like I see this being really good in things. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a juice out of this thing. So this juice is going to be a little bit different than your typical lemonade or something, because I'm going to use some of this rind. And how I'm going to do that is with this mofo right here. So I'm going to get some of the rind off of this. You don't want to use the pith because the pith is very bitter. So I'm just going to kind of like get the very outside of a few of these. So right here I've got about 4 fruits worth of rind. I'm going to take that and put it into a pot of boiling water. It's not a whole lot of water, just a couple of cups. I'm going to turn the heat down onto a simmer and take 1/2 cup of sugar and put that into the mix. So that's going to infuse as I juice these fruits. So I'm going to just squeeze these into this glass here. I'm doing the seeds and all because I'm going to separate them out later. Just get as much juice as I can into here. So I've got a pitcher, I've got a strainer, I've got the juice. I'm going to let this strain into so many seeds. Oh my god. Just going to let that strain into the pitcher. I just added some water to these seeds to try to like get a little bit more juice out of it. And yeah, there is a lot more to be had. Okay, I fill this about half full of water. So next I'm going to take my infused rind and sugar water and put that in here as well, straining out the rind. And you're left with a big old jug full of Trifoliate Aid, which you can put in the fridge and let it cool down, or be impatient like me and pour it over ice. So here it is, a nice glass full of my Trifoliate Aid. That is actually really, really good. That is surprisingly good. The flavor on this is, it's different. It doesn't taste like orangeade, it doesn't taste like lemonade, it doesn't taste like limeade. This tastes like its own thing. This is somewhere in the direction of like limeade, but if you were to add grapefruit juice to it and some flower petals, maybe a little bit of lulo, that one tastes a little bit like Ecto Cooler. That's really, really tasty. I'm not sure why this isn't more common, because obviously this is a very productive plant. It produces a lot of seeds. It grows in cold temperatures. Yeah, this is a very useful fruit. I think like if you want to grow something, this is a good one to grow. Maybe it's invasive or something. That's always something to check out. But the flavor is really good. I'm not sure why people say this is inedible, because I say this is just as edible as a lime or a lemon, where you're not going to want to eat it on its own, but if you want to cook with it or make a juice out of it, it's really, really tasty. So I like this a lot. And yeah, if you have the means, check it out. And once again, thank you, Ashton, for sending these to me. This is definitely a cool one to try. All right, take care. You are so cute. It's dawning on me right now that my hands are very, very sticky from all that latex. Oh.